Drivers, start your engine!
Engines fire, the grid is tight. Spas alive in the fading light. Rain on the radar, nerves of steel. Everyone's chasing that victory feel. Lost source to the Camel Straight. Tire screen is twisting fate. Diddley's League, it's do or die. F2 warriors reaching for the sky. Thunder at a Rouge, flying like a dream. Throttle wide open, tearing at the seams. Gavin's on the mic, voice sharp as a blade. He's laid on the brakes, what a movie just made. Crowds on the edge, hearts in their hands. Diddley's F2, the kings of the land. Side by side, the Kuhans bend. No room to breathe, no time to mend. Yellow flags elate VSC. Strategy games at Blanchimont speed. It's alive, the tension's high. Rain starts falling from a steel gray sky. Gavin calls it like a poet in war. That's the move of the season, give us more. Sector 2 purple, he's on a charge. Let's brave through Stavlot. Absolutely large. Speeding through Spa. In this beautiful game from large. From Raydown we rise to the bus stop chicane. We live for the risk, the glory, the pain. And Gavin's calling every breath, every spin. He's gone wide, but he reels it back in. Final lap, one last fight. Legends aboard about tonight. Diddley's League, battle cry, where future champs learn to fly. That doesn't vehicle, your race. We're a race.
So lap 1 of 9 and we're off in Spa. Who takes the lead? It's L1 Eliminator, Devil Diddley second, Jack third, Just Dave fourth, Sir GoPro, Dan, Sly Suzuki, Onions Please and Kazam 1. That's it as the first lap goes. So let's ride on board with P2 at the moment, who's Diddley. Wild Coyote says his money's on Onions. I've been watching Onions before, yes, and he needs to get his internet connection sorted out, and I hope he does very well tonight. But at this moment in time, Onions is in the 8th place. I'm absolutely and utterly new to this F2, and look at the graphics on these cars. They're beautiful. I had a couple of laps of Spa earlier just before I got involved in this, and just to give myself a bit of a feel for what these guys are doing. But just look how close all 9 of these guys are. This is going to be a battle of slipstreaming, being in the DRS zone at the right time. I believe there's no ERS on an F2 car. These machines are geared with 6 gears, and this is going to be very, very competitive. We'll just flick down to Dan R3 here, and he's racing in this MP car. Again, I'm not too sure what the cars are called, but I think that is the MP Motorsport and he's trying to make a move on Jack. He's going out the outside, and he's trying to take him to the outside, but Jack's well aware. He gets the move done, he makes it stick, and that puts him up into P5. Great move from Dan, R23. Well done, my sir. Eliminator puts in the fastest lap on lap 2. And we'll just go down to Kazam here. He's just dropped down to... there's moves being made everywhere in this F2 race. I must say, this is excitement, but the top 3 are pulling away. Let's just go on board with Just Dave. He's in that Red Bull type of car. I think that's the VAR car. So he's trying his damnedest to get onto the back of these 2 fast guys at the front. And he seems to be doing it. He's picking the pace on here now. And he's coming close to the gearbox of Devil Diddley. I wonder, can Devil Diddley do a move here? Let's have a see if we can just get on board with Devil Diddley. He's tracking down Eliminator in P2 for P1 and round this slippery left-hander where you need to keep it very, very steady. Taking all the apexes beautifully. Slamming on the brakes round the right-hander. And then another little slippy left-hander here before we go round this sweeping right to the fast part of the course where I think Devil Diddley just might try to make a move, but let's see what he's got. Let's get that telemetry up. 179 right up to 182 miles per hour as they approach this chicane. Slamming the brakes on, and he has a little touch, and that does happen in this new game. Everybody's just trying to get and he takes it on the outside. That's a fantastic move. Sir GoPro just takes the fastest lap at 1:57.827. He shows himself to be a pacey guy. So Eliminator takes that place back, and Devil Diddley is chasing down. And this is amazing stuff. Have a look just how close all of these top 4 with a 5th chasing. 3-second time penalty for Just Dave. He did not want that, that's for sure. But there's a move being made here now. And Just Diddley takes the lead again with these 2 guys, Eliminator and Just Dave, tracking behind. And I'm going to go on with Just Dave. He's in P3 and he wants a bit of P2. So let's see if he can do it. Round that right-hander. This is all about racecraft. This is all about drafting, slipstreaming. And I must say, this is a skillful game compared to F1. No ERS makes a hell of a difference here, and you're relying on the DRS zones to make these moves. So this guy in P2, he is definitely thinking ahead, and he's wondering, right, what can I do? What can I do to catch Devil Diddley? Devil Diddley's the boss. He's the league owner, or not the owner, but he's in charge of this particular F2 race. And he's pulling away here by a 0.8 of a second. Now, if he stretches out at any more, they won't have the DRS. But Just Dave's definitely catching on. He's wanting to get tight on the back of this Eliminator. Slamming the brakes on, making sure he doesn't go into the back of him. Beautifully round that, takes the apexes, and now he's chasing down, and he does hit the DRS zone now. But by goodness, this is difficult. Kazam takes the fastest lap at 1:57.214 in the Rodden Motorsport. Wow-wee, this is close. I must admit I was very apprehensive doing comms on a 9-car race, but I have no worries. This is going to be neck and neck and nip and tuck all the way through this race. Make no doubt about it. But we're on lap 4 of lap 9. We're in Belgium. We're in Spa. I'm Gavin Bass 1, and I'm commentating on the Diddley's F2 race. He goes wide there. He goes wide. Wile E. Coyote tells me that mistakes are costly in this game, and I can see that clearly. Yes, you definitely cannot make one mistake or you're virtually out of it. So I'm going to go back down to Kazam just to give Kazam a wee bit of love. He's in that Rodden's Motorsport car and he's catching. The more I'm watching this, the more I want to be part of this. This is good racing. Everybody has an equal chance here. Just check this out, guys. This is unbelievable. There's moves being made. Can he make it stick up the inside? Yes, he can. Oh, no, he can't. He had to back off there. He had to let Sly Suzuki go. Now he's lost a wee bit of time and needs to make it up again, and I'm just going to ride on with Sly. Here goes Sly Atep. He's into the DRS zone, but everybody's got DRS round this right-hander. You need to brake really early for this. Then we're going to go up the hill. Have a look at this. Mr. Onions is making a move. Hi, Onions. I've heard lots of good things about you. Don't let me down. Don't let Wile E. Coyote down. 3-second penalty for Jack Q. Doesn't want that. Let's have a look at the tyres. Everybody's on the mediums. 4 laps. Look at the position changes here. Onion has made a 3 position change up the way. The biggest loser so far is Jack. He's down to P7. That's a shame. He qualified 2nd or 3rd, I believe. So I'm going to go back up onto these top 3. Back on with Diddley. He's right on the box of Just Dave, and Diddley just took himself a 3-second penalty. He definitely doesn't need that in this race. So have a look at the penalties. Just Dave's got 3. Devil Diddley's 3 seconds, and Jack 3 seconds. So if Dan keeps it tight here, Dan just might win the race, and if Onions gets Dan, well, there's stories to be told here. I'm on board with Onions. But just look at the pace of this guy. I don't know what he's had for breakfast, but he's definitely sprinkled on his cornflakes. He's knocking the snap, crackle and pop out of this Haas car. Out the outside, what a beautiful move. He makes it stick, keeps it in the outside, but he needs to leave room for him. And he does. This is beautiful, clean racing on the DRS, and off he goes. Onion puts himself up in the 4th position, and he's now definitely going to chase down Devil Diddley. Eliminator's definitely in the lead now, and I'm not too sure anybody's going to catch that 1.6 lead. That's a great gap in this league. Catching a 1.6 in an F2 with only DRS is going to be very, very difficult. Unless he makes a mistake, I'm putting him down for race winner. But then there's also the penalties are going to come into thing. But look at this. 4 wide, 3 wide. I want to be part of this, guys. I want to race in your F2 league. Don't know, don't care how, but I want a bit of this. This is fantastic stuff. And it's clean. I very much respect you guys for that. A lot of people say this is just a game, and that really gets on my goat, and I'll tell you why it gets on my goat. There are guys out there that do take it as a game, and there's guys out there that put days, hours and laps of practice in to absolutely master their craft, and I would call it more like a competitive sport. I would not call this a game. This is a simulation. It's a competitive sport, and these guys, it's life or death. These guys are fighting for the win. So I'm going to ride on board with Just Dave here in P3. He has Dan behind him, he's got Onions behind him, and he needs to hold tight as he chases down Devil Diddley. Let's see if he can make a move here. Listen to the screams of these little cars as they approach 180 miles per hour with no ERS. This is hardcore. He can't make it work here, but let's see what he can do in this corner. He should have the DRS here. But then again, both of them will have. Off he goes. He's got DRS. Flames come out of the exhaust as they backfire, thanks to Willie. Wily Coyote's keeping me right in the background, and I very much appreciate that, because I am a virgin to this F2 racing. But there's nothing separating these guys. Absolutely nothing, apart from Eliminator taking away the DRS from the 4 or 5 guys behind him. But the race is definitely for P2. And just check this out. It's nose to tail, nose to tail. There's 4 guys here battling. Let's see what Onions is doing. Onions is on the tail here. He's a highly rated driver. I believe he's a controller driver too. So let's have a look at Onions. Can he make anything move here? He's going to have a wee look in the inside, but no. He just gives himself a glimpse in the mirror there, and he just reminds Dan, you know what, Dan? You have a bag full of onions behind you, and you need to guard your line, which he does very well. Onions is finding it very, very difficult to make a pass here. It's all about protecting your line. It's all about defence. And Onions is finding this very, very difficult. Round this right-hander, we're now into the very, very fast part of the course. Who has set their wings to be able to make the speed on this fast part? Let's have a look. Onions is definitely on the box. He's in the slipstream. He's going to pull over to the right, and he's going to try and make his move. And he can. Oh, can he? No, he needs to slam the brakes on again. Dave holds him off. Well done, Dave. Dan's got himself up into P4. P3's just Dave. Have a look at this. Oh my goodness. While we've been spectating that, Eliminator's got himself into a 2-second lead. Wowee. I just cannot believe the closeness and the skill of this F2 racing. I can see why you guys are passionate about this. I'm Gavin Bass 1, and I'm coming to you from Spa in Belgium. This is Diddley's F2 race, and my goodness, if this sprint race has anything to do with how the feature race is going to go, we're in for some fantastic laps. So Devil Diddley, he's in P2, but he sees that car of Eliminator in front. But by goodness, he's finding it so difficult to catch him. He's not going to do it in 2 laps. So keep it clean. Hold on to that P2, but I'll tell you what, Just Dave is tracking you down, and he's on your box. Onions has got him. Oh, Just Dave takes another 3-second penalty. That's 6 seconds. That's definitely going to go against him in the very last of this race. That could drop him down as far as P5. So Onions is penalty free. Eliminator's going to win the race for sure. We're on P8 of 9 laps. Let's go on with Onions. Can he get himself up into the podium positions? He doesn't really need to push too hard, because I'll tell you why. He has a 6-second penalty in front of him. He's got a 3-second penalty. If he holds tight, he could get himself very, very, very high up on the podium. Kazam takes a 3-second penalty warning for multiple warnings. Still on board with Onions. Love this right-hander. Hard on the throttle. If you're on an F1 car, that's a good spot to hit the ERS just to get yourself up the gears quickly to gather momentum up this left-hander and their right-hander. This is flat out. A lot of the boys drop down a gear, as he does. Onion's got it absolutely right over onto the rumble strips. He's pushing, but look, it's very, very difficult, even though he's got the DRS. So riding on board with Just Dave, he's chasing down Devil Diddley. He wants that second position on the track. Lap 9. I'm going to follow these guys. in this train just until about the main straight, and then I would like to welcome Eliminator home. Penalty free, clean race for him, so he's definitely going to get the top spot on the podium, but these penalties are going to tell a tale. Onions is still in that 4th place, Dan P5, Sly Suzuki's in 6th, Sir GoPro is in 7th, Kazam in 8th, and Jackie, I think it's Jackie, you can correct me on that, he's got a 3-second penalty right at the back in 9th. So Jackie hasn't had a great sprint race, but let's hope he improves in the race. So I'm going to go right up onto P1 and welcome the winner home as he comes up round it, and over the start finish line he comes. Will he give us a little shake of the tail? He's shaking already. He's very, very happy with that P1. P2's diddly, but there's going to be oh, have a look at them. 3, 4, oh, they're all wide. And now look at the positions. Round the corner comes Jackie, but look, it's Eliminator 1, Onions takes a P2, Wiley Coyote nearly got it right, but there was nobody catching him. Absolutely nobody catching that leader. What a race. Thank you guys for keeping it clean, and thank you guys for providing everybody watching with a super F2 race here in Belgium Spa. This is Diddley's F2 and I'm Gavin Bass 1. Once again, give us a like, give us a follow, and it's a pleasure to be here tonight commenting on your league. I can assure you it's not going to be a regular thing, it's a one-off. I'm nursing a fractured wrist on a Friday night. I normally race with a league called Peak. Very, very, very fast guys. I'm about mid-grid there. They were racing in Qatar tonight, but look at them spraying the champagne. They're all delighted with themselves. He takes a slug, he reaches it over to his teammates, and they all celebrate. So there's your board. Eliminator takes the win in Rodden. The High Tech of Onions is in 2nd. Dan is the MP Motorsport 4th. Sly 4th. High Tech GoPro, he's in 5th. Kazam is in the Rodden. He took a 6th place. And Devil Diddley, with all his penalties, ended up in P7. Just Dave 2-5. 205 is in 8th. And Jacka is in the Prema Racing. He takes it. So, we are on the grid in Diddley's F2. I hope you're all enjoying the stream. We've got a few viewers, okay, and I'm certainly enjoying this. And just after this first race in F2, I have got myself the bug. And the first thing I'm going to do tomorrow when I wake up, I'm going to do a career mode, if it's possible to do a career mode in F2. And I'm going to get my head around this, and I'm going to see you all on the grid. You watch out for Gavin Bath 1. I'm no slouch, I can promise you. I'll be up there, and I am really, really, really looking forward to that. So I might even jump on board next Friday and give it a race, and just stay at the back of the grid and enjoy it, just to give you guys a bit of respect for the first time that a race, and give me a chance to get used to the pace and how close you can get to the back of each other, and blah, 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 blah. I know I'm ranting on, but I'm going to take a little break here, just fix myself a little double espresso, and I'll be right back with you for the start of this race. So here we go. We're away, and Kazam looks to have made a really good start. He has, and he's held it round P1. I've just looked out the window here, and there's thunder and lightning in Northern Ireland. Is there thunder and lightning in Belgium? Not on the track, or not in the air, but certainly on the track there's going to be. Let's have a look. Onions has put himself into 2nd position, and let's have a look at these tyres. Oh, we've got a difference of opinion between all of these drivers. I'm just going to keep it on this this view just for a minute till everybody gathers their momentum, gets themselves into a nice position. But have a look at this. Onions is just, he's in the softs. Sly Suzuki's on the softs. Sir GoPro's on the softs. And Just Dave is on the softs. So they're having a quick spell, and then they're going to change onto the mediums for the second section. But we're in lap 1 of 13 in Spa in Belgium. This is F2, this is Gavin Bass 1, and I am so excited to be here commenting and doing a bit of commentary on these guys racing. Just love the graphics on the cars. But Onions is starting to pick up a bit of a lap, a bit of time here. So let's have a little look. Riding on board with Kazam. He's chasing down Onions. I've got the intervals up now, but Onions has got himself a 0.867 lead. If he extends that any further, there's going to be carnage because they'll not be able to catch him. The Sly Suzuki's right on the tail. Everybody is in the mix here. Again, I'm just going to leave this on broadcast for 2 seconds while I go and grab my espresso. Just taking a little puff of my strawberry vape because I'm now off the cigarettes. Cigarettes ain't any good for you boys. I would say Wile E. Coyote. He would agree with that. Guys, I'm having a blast tonight. I'm just loving this. I'm just getting the coffee, so I'm not absolutely right on this just now, but I'm going to be on it here in 1 second. Pit stops are absolutely crucial here. I'm going to give you some details about pit stops. This is quite a long circuit. It's 4.3 miles, and this track is notorious for changes of weather. So just let's watch out. I don't know whether the guys have got variable weather on. There's also a pretty high chance of a safety car, but watching these guys race, I'm not sure that statistic is going to be valid here, because they're so clean and respectful, and I must admit they are a credit to the league, and they're racing so well. 157.362 for Onions. Onions is on fire. As I said earlier, he is knocking the snap, crackle and pop out of that car. There's a 60-kilometre speed limit on the pit lane, and it takes about 7 seconds to do a tyre change. The undercut can be very effective here due to tyre degradation, especially if there's no safety car. So, let's give others a bit of... Let's go to Sir GoPro. We haven't been on Sir GoPro much. He's got pace. It's very inevitable. He's going to take round here, but he's being he's being shut out by Devil Diddley. Devil Diddley's being a bad boy. Well, it's actually a good boy. He's actually protecting himself, and that's absolutely within the rules to do so. It's Sir GoPro's place to get past him. It's definitely not Diddley's place to let him through. So round this right-hander, let's get that telemetry on. 167 miles per hour. Can he screw any more than 180 out of this car? Not at the moment he can't. He's on the soft tyres too. there's quite a bit of separation going on now, and we've got a race between the first three, and then we've got a battle for the next 3 or 4 drivers, and then it looks like Eliminator and Just Dave have got themselves out of the tow. They'll not be happy with that. But on board with Sir GoPro as he takes the outside line and he gets that move made. That's sweet. That's a sweet move, I must say. Bangs it up into 5th gear, keeps that momentum right up to the top of the rev counter and into 6th. But he has got himself too far behind Sly Suzuki. And we're on board with Sly. He's now chasing down Kazam, but Onion still holds that P1. But he isn't a 1 second gap now. He's only got half a second in front. So Kazam has done a fantastic job to wheel him in. Round this left-hander. Look how tight these 3 guys are getting it. Sly Suzuki's just finding it very, very difficult to keep on the pace of these 2 front fellas, but he's doing a fantastic job, and he's there. He's still staying within that DRS zone, and that's the most important thing in this race. You drop out of that, you're in big, big trouble. And as Wild Coyote said in the background earlier, you make a mistake, you're also in big, big trouble. Mistakes just are not on the radar here. Dan has got himself a penalty. Let's see what that was for. He's got himself 3 seconds for multiple track. Going over the white lines, I would say it's for. That's unfortunate. But I'm going to ride on with Onions here. I'm nearly sure I heard Charles Wild Coyote talking about this young fella. I think he's young in around about 15, 16. He plays on a controller. He's meant to be a really, really, really sound, nice, well-spoken young gentleman, and I think I'm talking about the same guy. But my goodness, has he got pace around this course. He drops her down to 5th gear. That seems to be the thing to do in this F2 car. Wangs it back up into top gear. And 177, 178. Oh, he's got the 181 out of it. He's screwing this car. He's washing it out. But look at the outside move being tried here. And Onions had to pull over and let him go. Was there a bit of contact there? Yes, I think there was. But it was pretty fair, I think. If it's not, the stewards will be knowing about it. Lads, apologies that I'm not up to date with the leaderboards, the standings. The admins will definitely give you all that information. All I'm interested in the moment is the race. So I can't tell you any standings, who's in position 1, blah, 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 blah. I just don't know. This was a very last minute call, and I've never done F2. I've never even raced F2 before, so I am winging it big time here, guys. But round this right-hander, we're on board with Onions. I'm going to just jump on board with Sir GoPro a second, because he's having a good race too. There's a few little separate races going on here. But he's tracking down Dan, and Dan will need to be aware of that. Dan's going to have his mirrors filled with this car any second now as they go. Oh, he's going into the pits. Let's just stay on board with GoPro. There's a lot of them going in. Let's see what he does in the pits. Lots of changes of position. Sir GoPro's going in now. His team are calling them in, and he's going to put a set of mediums on. Oh, they've double stacked here. This is costing time. This has definitely cost time. He will be irritated about that. So off he goes. Onions and him done a pit stop at the same time. Really, they should be communicating with each other, and that wouldn't have happened, but that has cost dearly. So So I'm going to go on with your race leader at this moment in time on the track. I just want to go down to the stops. So only Onions and Sly Suzuki and GoPro, Sir GoPro, they've all made one stop, so they're on the mediums. Just Dave still on the softs, and everybody else is on 5-lap mediums as we're on lap 6 of 13 in this feature race at Belgium. So Kazam's got himself a 4.6 second lead, but that means nothing because everybody's not equal on track. And until everybody makes that first pit stop, we won't see exactly the picture and how real it is. So what I'll do now is I'm going to bounce down to Sly Suzuki because he's the only one really in a really tight race. And we're on board with him as he's chasing Onions down. But he's got his work cut out for him because Onions is fast. JCKAQ has just picked up a 3-second penalty. Devil Diddley's in the pits. Just Dave's in the pits. So we're looking, everybody now is starting to pit. And within another couple of laps, it'll be an equal playing field. Oh, he gets a bit squirrely there. I just love the sounds of these gearboxes and engines cheering. Round this right-hander. He's got it really tight. He's going to stay on his box and he's going to get up to this DRS zone. And I would put my mortgage on it. He's going to make a pass here. He'll top her down into 5th gear and just give himself loads of momentum. There it goes. Bang down, bang up. Hits the DRS. Hits the button now. And can he make that move? I think he can. He's going to go up the right-hand side. And he makes a clean move. Oh, but he's being defended on the inside by Onions. Sly Suzuki just could not get the move done as to go round this right-hander. Boy, this is tight stuff. Onions, that was amazing defending there. You've done really well to hold him off. I thought that was an inevitable move there. So let's just go back and have a look at these stops. We're still waiting on Kazam, Dan, Jack and Eliminator to make these stops. We're still riding on board with Sly Suzuki 862 and he is doing one heck of a job tracking down Onions. I must admit the pace is very equal here. It's just really down to this driver skill, setup and slipstreaming. Being in that DRS zone is just vital. Kazam has decided to make that pit stop. So where is he going to come out? Let's just bounce back to what was the race leader. That's a beautiful little Rodden's car there, I must admit. Off he goes, and it puts him down. Let's see where he comes out. He's coming out onto the track now, and he's got himself into P2. He's held that. So we're just waiting on Dan making the stop. Quite a lot of separation going on here. Riding on board with Eliminator. He's all out in his own. He's got nobody to chase. But I'll tell you who has. JCKAQ is chasing down Devil Diddley. Lap 8 of 13. Taking every bit of this track. I suppose that's the only way to do it in F2 racing. You've got to take every space you can to keep the momentum and pace. Just Dave gets another 3-second penalty. So back up the Onions. Let's see what Onions is doing.
Stand up. Start working with the hands in. Okay, all of our usual lip readers are busy.
So Dan's got 3 seconds, Jack's got 3 seconds, Just Dave's got 3 seconds, and Onions just puts in the fastest lap of the race at 1:57, near enough dead. So Onions has got it. He's going pacey. And now the leaderboard has panned itself out. I just want to check for those stops once again to keep on top of it. There you have it. Everybody's made a stop. The fastest lap again with 1:57 on the dot, near enough for Onions. So big change in tyres. Kazam's on the softs. Onions is on the mediums. But Kazam's out front and he's only got 1 lap on those soft tyres. So let's just see how they wear in with another 5 laps or 4 laps to go. You can see Onions is trying his best to get on the back of this car. This is a little Roddens, and I must admit it's a beauty. I love the green colours, the kicks type colours. Onions is 2.1 seconds behind him, so let's just see if he can reel it in. But it seems to be going up instead of going down. A great wee race going on here in P5 for Dan. Dan R23 is trying so hard to get past Devil Diddley. I'm going to stay on board here for a while because he's got up this fast part of the track. He's going to come through to the chicane. He's going to try something in this chicane and hope that he gets on the DRS zone as he gets round to the start and finish grid. But there's not an awful lot of road there to make a move. So he needs to get right close up here, which he's doing. He's beautifully in the slipstream. He can't make a move here, but he's going to try and keep it tight. And Kazam puts in the 1:56.474. He smashes the fastest lap. Dan's going for an outside move in this corner. It's going to be a battle with the brakes, but the inside line is with Devil Diddley, and Devil Diddley holds it. What fantastic racing, guys. But I fear for Devil here because Dan has got the DRS coming right up. Smashes it into 6th gear now. He's just waiting to hit that button for DRS, and can he make that move? Wee bit of wiggling going on there. Move for definite, that has stuck, and he gets himself up into P4. He got to say about that. I can tell you what he says. You're not going to get away with that, Dan. I'm going to chase you down, and I'm going to make exactly the same move on you in the next lap. Let's just see if that comes true. But up into P3, Sly Suzuki, trying to give everybody a little bit of TV time. But he's just under a second behind Onions. So he's doing his very, very best to keep within that zone where he's not going to get dropped. But Kazam's running away with this race. He's penalty free, so 3 laps to hold on tight. I can't see Onions pulling back 3 seconds unless there's a mistake. Eliminator takes a 3-second penalty for track warnings. 3. As I said earlier in the stream, guys, this has got me completely hooked on F2. I love this. I think everybody gets a fair chance here. Hits that DRS zone. He's going to really try hard now to gain a wee bit of space and get right on the tail here. Late bit of braking there. Makes that work. He's just a bit too far away to make the next DRS zone work, I think. But let's see. Love the way they drop down into 5th there. He's got the DRS and he's going to gain a bit of space here. And he comes, this right-hander into a left-hander and then sweeping round into another right-hander, going down the hill. and they'll take another sweeping right-hander. It's a technical track, this, and if you get one turning wrong, it sets you up completely wrong for the next corner, especially this section. But he's just dropped out of that DRS zone of onions, so there's a lot of separation here. There's absolutely nobody on the track. Devil Diddley's going to be very cross with himself. He's just picked up a 3-second penalty, and he's sitting in P5, so that's going to have an effect on his position at the end of this race. One thing I'm learning fast about F2 racing: do not get yourself penalties, even if it costs you a little bit of pace. Just be accurate, and it should look after itself. But when you're a racer and the red mist is down, you can do nothing, only push as hard as you possibly can, and sometimes that just takes you over the white line. But the only race going on here out of separation is going to be Eliminator. And he's checking down JCKA. I think it's Jackie. I'm just going to call you Jackie until I find out different. But he's on your tail, Jackie. They're both on the soft tires. Picks up a little space in that DRS zone. He now really needs to push to try and get on tight here. This is so difficult, guys. I must admit, this looks so difficult. But just check this out. He's in the slipstream. He didn't drop down to 5th. And he kept the pace. That's a good bit of driving. DRS had passes that nice car, whatever it is, and makes that stick. So Jackie Q just got passed by Eliminator, and Eliminator is now going to try and chase down Diddley. But there's 2 and 3 seconds now between each driver, and there's big separation, but it is lap 12. But the only real close race at the moment are these two guys. They're fighting. They're going to have a bit of time together tonight in the chat to say, what a battle. I'm just going to bump on to Sly Suzuki here for a minute, because I'll tell you what, he's clean, he has got no penalties, and he's within 3 seconds of Onions, and that will drop Onions down into P3. Sly Suzuki could just get himself a second spot on the podium here. If there's any debate to be had here, it looks like our race leader and our race winner, Guy, in the Roddens Motorsport car, as he turns round onto the start and finish, he's now going to start P13, lap 13. This is the last lap of the race. This is Belgium. This is Spa. I'm Gavin Bass 1, and I am having a ball this evening commentating on this very, very, very close race. On with your race leader now. 5-lap old sauce goes up the hill, drops it down into 5th. He does. He taps her back up into 6th again. He's got massive pace here. Onions is only 2 seconds behind, but it's 2 seconds too many. He ain't catching that. Everybody on track now is separated by DRS. I don't think anybody can make a move. So I'm just going to stay on with the race leader, and I'm going to see him home. We'll just go on to broadcast mode, see if we can get a couple of helicopter shots. Look at that beautiful little car going around those corners. Nice, smooth, clean driving is definitely key to F2. Kazam 140901, take a bow. You are driving like an expert, sir. You have made this look easy, and I can tell you it ain't easy. But we have a quick battle to look at here with Eliminator. He's got himself again on the tail of Devil Diddley. Devil Diddley's the boss, so you have to look after the boss. Don't upset the boss. But by goodness, I'd love to see you overtaking him. Slap him. Give him a slap. Show him who's faster. Round this right-hander. But unfortunately, I'm going to have to see the leaders home. And we're on board with Kazam. Final lap, Spa, Belgium. Kazam is the owner of VFRL, I believe. That's good to know. Hi Kazam, I'm Gavin Bass 1 and I'm welcoming you home over the line. He gets the race with Onions in second. But Onions lost that position due to his penalty, so Sly Suzuki takes P2. Onions takes P3, Dan takes P4, P5, Eliminator P6, Jackie Q P7. Oh, what a race, guys. What a race. I must admit, I enjoyed that, and congratulations, Dan, on your P4. But all the champagne is going to get spread here now, and the champagne, I know, is going to be very, very, very tasty. And there's a guy there doing all his moves. Check those moves out. He's in the top spot, and he deserves it. He flings his cup into the air. He looks down at his team. They're in awe of him. Out come the bottles. So that takes me to the end of the race. Again, I have a couple of little shout outs to make. Firstly, thank you very much, guys and owners and administrators of this league, for having me along tonight. It was my pleasure. I'm from Northern Ireland. I'm in the reigning shores of the north of Ireland, looking over the sea on your F. A big shout out to Wiley Coyote for being a friend, for being a support while I've been commentating, giving me pointers. A big shout out to Viper. Hope you get your Xbox soon and your game soon, bud. And keep wearing that mankini and your purple glasses and bowler hat, and keep those dogs fit up and down the beach. Don't you worry. Just you be yourself, buddy. But there you have it. I'm Gavin Bass 1, and it's been a pleasure commentating on this F2 race from Spa in Belgium. And on that note, I wish you all a very, very, very enjoyable weekend. Forward to seeing possibly some of tomorrow night in Australia. I'll not be doing anything daft tomorrow night. Might just stay in around the back just to get a feel for the league, see who's what, who's fast, who's that. So it's over and out from Gavin Bass 1. Again, thanks to everybody for their support tonight, and especially Wiley Coyote. And Wiley Coyote, it's good night from Gavin Bass 1. Good night.
Gavin Bass one on the microphone. The energy is high, feel the vibe in the zone. Engines roar as the lights go down. Racers ready, it's a battle for the crown. Who will rise? Who will stand tall? On the top step, they'll answer the call. With hearts racing and spirits ignited, the champion's moment is finally sighted. Adrenaline pumping, the crowd is alive. Speeding through corners, they take the dive. Every lap counts, the stakes are set. In this game of skill, there's no room for regret. Listen closely, hear the engine scream. Chasing glory, living the dream. Battles unfold on the asphalt track. In pursuit of victory, there's no turning back. Feel the thrill as the tires grip tight. Under the stars, everything feels right. Each curve a story, each turn a chance. In this high-speed dance, we all advance. champion shines in the spotlights, hues with the roar of the fans. They take their bow. F1 Saturday night. See you next time. Wow!